Have you ever felt completely drained and said, you know what, I just need to get a quick vacation? I know that I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling stressed, but if I could just get away, if I can just go to another place, if I can just go on vacation for a few days, if I can just get away from the children, from the family, from everyone, if I could just escape to an island, just come back in a couple of days, I will be okay and it will be fine. Many of us have felt that way, that if we could just get away, we feel that moment of stress, we feel that moment of overwhelmed, and we feeling like, okay, what in the world is really going on? I don't know what to do. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know really truly what it is. And we feeling like, okay, if I can just get away, if I could just get a moment, everything will be okay. But what we fail to realize is burnout is not just a thing of stress. Stress is the initial point, but burnout is a prolonged exhaustion that this thing has been going on. Stress has been a constant level, and it is at a point of continual exhaustion. You feel constantly tired. You feeling like, okay, what I'm going to go. You feeling constantly frustrated. And even if you got that vacation, you still not feeling rested. You still not feeling like, okay, I feel like I am good to go, or it may just work for a little while and then you're like, okay, you know what, I'm done, I'm done. I've tried, but the passion is gone. I've tried this vacation, it still didn't work. I tried doing this and I'm still feeling stressed. That's how you know that you are at that point of burnout. So what we're going to talk about today is, what are the 7 lies that we're going to bust today that we have all heard about burnout? So let's just start with lie number 1. Lie number 1 is, you're just not tough enough. Many people feel like, if I'm dealing with this thing, then evidently I must be a weak person. Evidently, I must just not be tough enough. I'm seeing all these people, they're going around saying like they're living their best lives. But I'm sitting here, I'm struggling, I'm frustrated. It seems like everyone is just happy when they're coming into work. And I just want to just remind you that just because you feel burned out does not mean that it is a weakness. It just means that your body, your mind, and your spirit is in overload. And I just want to bring up this scripture. And it's 1 Corinthians, the 6th chapter, the 19th verse. It says, have you forgotten that your body is now a sacred temple of the holiness who lives in you? You do not belong to yourself and no longer the gift of God, the Holy Spirit that lives inside of you. You were God's expensive purchase, paid for tears of blood. So by all means, use your body to bring the glory of God. So when we think about our bodies being a temple, we have to understand that this temple that we live in is something that needs to have rest. It needs to have restoration. It needs to have a moment of reset. And if we are constantly on go, and we are constantly moving, our bodies, our minds, and our spirits will let us know, as they talked about here, that your body is a sacred temple. That means that we have to take care of that thing with care. We have to take care of our minds, our bodies, and our spirits with care. And many times we just go and we go and we go and we feel like, if I am feeling this way, then this must be a point of weakness for me. And it means that, number 1, the support that I need to be able to reach out to it. And number 2, it means that my body and my spirit has now gone into overload. That I have been at a place where I have been constantly going, but I'm going on fumes. You think about whenever you drive in a car and you're driving, how far you think it's going to go when that gas says, okay, it's about emptiness on E. And what we many times try to do is continually go, continually go. And our bodies are telling us to sit down. Our bodies are telling us to rest. Our spirit is telling us that we're frustrated, but we do not listen. And we have to be at a place where we listen to those signals, because that signal is a warning sign that something is going on. That frustration is that warning sign. So let's go on to lie number 2. Like I said before, a vacation will fix everything. I can just go on this vacation, everything fine, and I would just tell you this. You can take a break, but when you're at that point of burnout and you don't address the root cause, it's going to be null and void anyway. You need to be able to go to that root and really deal with What is it that's truly a burnout for me? Whenever I was in a place and I was like, okay, maybe if I could just shut off my phone and just go to that place of prayer, go to that place of restoration, everything will be fine. But it seems though once I got back to that place, it was like the anger, the frustration, all that stuff started building up again. So I realized, even for myself, that I had to deal with the root. When you think about various things of we deal with in life and we say, okay, we're just going to do it. We're not going to really address it. Yes, that bothered me, but I'm not going to deal with it. We really truly do not deal with it. And we don't really truly deal with the root. It will continually move and dig, and it's going to grow. You think about weeds. When you don't pull up the root from the weeds, eventually it's going to come back up. I could go outside and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm just so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And, I got my weeds up. And then within a few months, here they come again. It's because I did not go to the root. So I just wanted to tell you, people, when they're at that place of burnout, it is not just going to change with a vacation. It is not just going to change with going to the spa. It's not just going to change if you just go away for a few days and say, I'm going to come back. It's not going to change if you do not deal with the root. And then sometimes people will say, well, I'll just go get another job. Okay, but the thing is, you're still carrying that same weight. So if I do not deal with that root, if I do not really truly get a system in place to really truly take care of myself, then it's going to be a circle over and over again. Another lie number 3, is that only high pressure individuals on their jobs are the ones who deal with burnout. Like other people, they don't deal with it. Mothers who work at home, they don't deal with burnout. You working in ministry, you don't really deal with burnout. All the people that are high levels, the executives, they are the only ones that deal with burnout. Only the owners deal with burnout. Nobody else, not the janitors, not of those people. No. Students, caregivers, creatives, all deal with burnout in every area. Mental health, healthcare. There are many places, areas of ministry where people deal with burnout. And let me tell you something. If anything that burnout does not do, it does not discriminate. It does not discriminate at all. It does not care. It does not care where you work. It does not care where you live. It does not care your financial status. It does not care, because many times people will feel because, I got this money. Oh, they should be able to just go on a vacation. Why they stressed out? They got this. But I have counted so many people who are 6-7 figures people who still deal with burnout. I have dealt with people who are people that are janitors and people that are caregivers that still deal with burnout. Burnout does not discriminate. It does not care about your race. It does not care about your color, does not care about your creed. It comes for everybody. So if you do not deal with it, if you do not truly deal with that root, if you truly do not deal with it, it will come for you. And it starts out with stress. But when it comes, it's coming. And when it's there, it's there. And if it's not dealt with, it's going to stay, it's going to linger, and it's going to continually to build up. Okay, so let's go on to 4. Lie number 4 is it's just stress. As I just talked about before, burnout is a little deeper than stress. It's deeper. It means that I am dealing with this thing for a significant amount of time, that even if I do things, it still may give that relief at that moment in time. It's kind of like sometimes people go and they say, okay, they use drugs and they have that moment of time wherein they feel that relief. You go get that pedicure, you go get that massage, you go on that vacation. But like I said, it just comes back because it is deeper symptoms of exhaustion. You become more detached. And you begin to start feeling ineffective in some areas. Because I feel like I should be doing better than this. I feel like I should be going better than this. So when I begin to start dealing with all these things, and I be thinking that it's just stress, I be thinking that it's just these things. But when I begin to start really noticing, it's a lot deeper than just stress. I'm constantly exhausted. I'm feeling tired. Even though I may go to sleep at night, I'm not feeling rested whenever I wake up. I'm at a place where I'm feeling a little more ineffective at work. Even though people are giving me accolades on the job, I'm feeling like it's not effective. In ministry, they're telling me, oh my gosh, you did that. You did that sermon. But I'm not really feeling like I feel like I have made any impact. That's how you know that it's creeping. That burnout is saying, hey, I'm here. I'm creeping in. So we have to understand that it's not just stress. And that was one of the things that I often confused myself with when I would tell myself, oh girl, no, you just stressed out. You just need to kind of just do a mild getaway and just kind of move on forward. But what I realized is that it was something that was continual, even though I did the right things of exercising and all these things, but I was still feeling exhausted. The passion that I had was not there. So I knew that it was at a point of that I needed to deal with the root, and it was a time of transition that I needed to do for me. And what that looks like is different for everyone. That's one thing that I want to say too. You can get a lot of ideas from various different people, but it looks different for everybody as well. Also, lie number 5 is that your passion protects you. What you fail to realize is that your passion could actually be the thing that accelerates your burnout. Because what we tend to do is the things that we are passionate about is that thing that we try to hold on to the most. That thing that we truly love is oftentimes the hardest thing to let go. Whenever I was at a point of transition and I knew that God was calling me to a different area, a different space, to be able to lead, to be able to impact people on a different level than I've done before, it was hard for me to release the traditional therapy because that's what I have done for 20 years. I'm passionate about helping people. I'm passionate. I want to be able to see people do well, but it hindered me to be able to move forward and truly address, because I continued to push myself because that was my passion. And what passion does sometimes, it can cause you to have blurred boundaries. It can cause you sometimes to begin to start feeling like, okay, should I do this or should I do that? Should I just stay here? Should I just do that? It will cause for you to start doing things a little more and push yourself because you feel this passion. You feel like you need to be there. You feel like you need to be making this change. You feel like you are connected and so interconnected with it that what will it do if I do make this change? But what we fail to realize is if we do not really truly address it, it doesn't matter if it's your passion. It doesn't matter if you really truly love to do it. You want to be able to do it well. You want to be able to show up with the energy. You want to be able to pour out to people if it is your passion and be able to truly give your all. And you cannot give your all when you are exhausted. You cannot give your all when you burn out. You cannot give your all when you're frustrated. So you have to understand that you have to have not only the passion to be able to address it, but you need to be able to do it well, effective, and start addressing whenever you begin to start feeling that passion going away. When you begin to start feeling like, okay, I can't do this thing. I can't do this. It's feeling like it's too much. Lie number 6. I think I did 6. It's a personal problem. It's not my problem. It's yours. Whenever you begin to deal with a toxic relationship, toxic workplaces, and leadership, they would say, okay, this is a personal problem. When a lot of times it's the environment that you're in. A lot of times it's the environment within your home that is initiating for you to be a little more frustrated, that's initiating the arguments, that's initiating a lot of things that you would, if you were in a healthier environment, that you would feel healthy. You'll be able to think clearly. I think about many times whenever we had children, and it's not every time, but whenever we had children and they were in an environment that was not healthy for them, and when they were able to get into a healthy environment, you began to see changes within them like never before. You began to see changes of them responding to things different. And that's why they talk about who you are connected to matters. That is the reason why you have different situations set up for where you want to be in life. You need to be able to have that supportive network that's going to push you, that's going to support you, that's going to allow for you to be you, where you don't have to put on that mask. You don't feel like it's your problem. You don't feel like it's always you. So you can say, okay, I'm going to think clearly. I'm going to think from a different perspective. So what I think about even in organizations, you all often have what they have, EAP, employee assistance programs, wherein people can come in and talk about this stuff. They have wellness things. But what is it truly that's truly addressing to the core of what your team may be dealing with? What is it truly addressing? Is it truly addressing the core of the team issues, or is it just something that you are, just talking about? Is it that you're just talking about stress, and we're going to talk about 10 ways to manage stress? Or are you really addressing the needs? Are you doing an assessment to say, okay, where my team is at this time? And can I develop some ways to kind of help them, assist them along this journey? Because I want to be more proactive and not reactive. Not to a point where, okay, I'm sending you to the EAP, but what is it that we can do as a culture to set a culture to be healthy, to set a culture to be supportive, but also have accountability that when I do see that you're getting off, I'm going to hold you accountable along the journey. And then, as I talked about, this will tie in for the last one. It says, once it's gone, it's gone. That's number 7. Once you deal with burnout, oh, it's done. I go to that therapist to talk about the process and it's done. I'm done. You need to have ongoing boundaries and support, and you need to have a systematic change to ensure that you have a level of success to obtain and a level of success to keep. I'm going to say that again. You need to have a systematic change in place, that you not only have a plan to be able to have this moment of success, but you want to be able to maintain the momentum and to be able to stay there. So this is why it is important for you to begin to start saying to yourself, okay, I've addressed it at the root, but I know that I have to start setting boundaries to ensure that I maintain this of what I have obtained. I need to set the appropriate boundaries. I need to address those toxic relationships. I need to possibly shift if I need to. I need to find a way to continually have that passion. So when it is going to that place where it feels like it's down, it feels like it's not working, that I have something in place, some measures in place to help me along the journey. You need to be able to be not only reactive, but proactive. That is many times why whenever we had my sessions and when I was even doing therapy, I never gave an actual, what you would say, a end, quote unquote, date. We'll have that close time, but I always left that door open because many times people need to check-ins. Life happens, death in the family, dealing with a situation on the job. So every time that the person came back, they were not at the place worse off. They already knew what they needed to do, but they needed to kind of do a recap and a refresh. You need to have that support system to do that recap and that refresh to be able to come back to, so I can build up momentum, so I can sustain where I am. I can set the necessary boundaries, release the necessary people that I need to release the necessary things that I need to release in my life, so I can begin to maintain that momentum and move forward. So what I want you to start thinking about for you, as I talked about these 7 lies of not being tough enough, that vacation will fix everything, that only people with high pressure jobs will deal with it, and it's just stress, that passion will protect you, which we know that it will not, and then it's just about you and your personal problem, which is not always the case. And when it's gone, it's gone. We need to have a sustainable system in place. So I want you to think about, what were some of the lies that you have believed or you have received or that you have heard? And then I want you to start thinking about, for you, on what is it that you can start doing to protect your peace? What is it that you can start doing today? What is one step? I always tell people, many times people want a big overhaul. Oh, they want like the big makeover. I want you to start thinking about, what is that one step that you can begin to take today to begin to start shifting your life. In the meantime, I also want to invite for you to take my quiz to identify what for you have been some stress symptoms, because some may be surprising for you. Where you are, is it stress, is it burnout? And then also in that, you will receive a free guide on your Stress to Success playbook on how you can begin to identify subtle behaviors that often leave you drained and unfulfilled, and how you can begin to de-stress for success. So cheers to your success. Cheers to be able to move forward. And it's always that I always end is to walk in purpose. Bye now.